Without Rudyard Kipling, it's possible that mongooses as small predatory animals would not have gained global recognition. Millions have come to know the pink-eyed, restless-nosed little hero of Rudyard Kipling's fairy tale as a fearless warrior against king cobras. However, who exactly is Rikki Tikitavi in the real world? Let's find out if the snake and the mongoose are truly irreconcilable foes, and if the small and agile mongoose always emerges victorious in their battles. The mongo family is native to the Iberian Peninsula and Africa, while also being present in South Asia and introduced to certain parts of Europe. Sadly, the International Union for Conservation of Nature reports that the population of most species is decreasing at a steady rate. Despite the declining population, the mongo family still boasts 20 genera and 34 species. These animals come in various sizes, ranging from 18 centimeters in the common dwarf mongoose to 60 centimeters in the Egyptian mongoose. While they typically weigh less than 3 kilograms, larger specimens have been observed. Take the Jackson's mongoose, for instance, which typically weighs between 2 to 3 kilograms. On the other hand, the white-tailed mongoose can weigh anywhere between 6 to 9 pounds, with some rare individuals tipping the scales at 8 kilograms. One of the smaller species is the yellow mongoose, whose weight doesn't exceed a half of a kilogram. Their elongated body makes them look a bit like a weasel and stands in contrast with their short but strong limbs, the paw end with slightly curved claws capable of digging holes and getting food. The animals have a thick, reddish-brown coat, or gray or silver, a long tail, a relatively short but sharp muzzle, and rounded ears. Mongooses live in pairs or family colonies of up to 50 individuals, mainly in burrows with a complex system of tunnels. Many species have adapted to specific habitat and learned to live in trees, water bushes, and abandoned burrows of large rodents. These animals are omnivores. They feed mainly on insects, worms, spiders, scorpions, rodents, lizards, snakes, frogs, and fish. Some species supplement their diet with fruits, nuts, berries, and seeds. Sometimes they can destroy badness eating chicks and eggs. They use hard objects to break the eggs. Everyone in the colony has their own duties. Some individuals guard the territory, some stand guard during the hunt, and some take care of the kids while the others are out getting food. The gestation period is about 2 months. The females usually give birth to 2 to 5 pups once a year, but if the pups die for some reason, they can go for a second try in 1 year. Young mongooses are weaned at about 6 weeks of age. At 6 months, the males leave their mother's side while the females stay nearby for a long time. The entire colony takes part in raising the pups, passing on knowledge. The closest relatives take on the roles of guardians and mentors. There is a myth that says that mongooses are the bravest animals in the world of fauna. It's not about courage, however, but about the organization of the hunt and the speed of the reflexes. Standing on their hind legs, these cute animals can look around, see the approaching danger, and warn the others in time. These animals have a quick reaction, a keen sense of smell, sensitive hearing, and excellent vision. These qualities help most mongooses die unnatural death at about 12 years of age. The little snake hunters are well aware of the danger the snake pose, but being predators, they attack even the most venomous of them, vipers and cobras. Mongooses and cobras have the same habitat. Also, both species are among the largest of their kind, and frequent fights have helped them perfect their attacks. When a cobra comes across a mongoose, it tries to avoid confrontation, but driven into a corner, it is forced to defend itself. The snake hunter is incredibly fast. It manages to dodge the attacks of the fast cobra. The mongoose jumps at the slightest hint of the snake attack and tries to bite it in a vulnerable place behind the head. The mongoose attacks with incredible speed and hits the right spot, killing the snake. The cobra can wrap itself around the mongoose, but it won't be able to do anything. If the mongoose doesn't deliver its first blow correctly, it risks getting bitten. It doesn't have immunity to cobra venom, but it does have special acetylcholine receptors that allow it to tolerate it. Cobra venom is modified saliva that will become lethal when injected into the victim's body. Therefore, the mongoose can eat almost the entire body of its neutralized prey. Repeat bites can be fatal for a mongoose who is already losing strength, and that can make it the cobra's dinner. It's estimated that mongooses win about 75 to 80% of the fights. Mongooses and cobras are equally strong, considering that they both have different characteristics that help them fight each other and win. But be that as it may, snake bites are very dangerous, and yet snakes have less chance of winning the fight than the mongoose. It is interesting that the mongooses, the glorious snake exterminators, turned out to be completely helpless against the rattlesnakes of America. The mongooses were once brought over to the United States in an attempt to fight venomous snakes, but it turned out that these animals, accustomed to fighting the slower snakes of their homeland, fell victim to the very fast lightning bites of the rattlesnake. Experiments in terrariums have shown that the rattlesnake attack was indeed faster than that of a cobra or a viper. Cowboys say that the rattlesnake bite is the fastest thing in the world. Now let's take a look at some encounters with mongooses and snakes. For example, the small hunter managed to grab the huge enemy in a cramped tank, but the person intervened, taking the snake away at the last moment. Otherwise, it would have clearly died soon. The mongoose is great at jumping when dodging an attack. Sometimes it can end up over the snake out of its reach. The mongoose has well-established fighting tactics. Having angered this snake, it begins to exhaust it physically and psychologically. As soon as the enemy's speed decreases and it makes a mistake, the mongoose bites into the enemy's head with its sharp teeth, and that's the turning point of the fight, which almost guarantees the mongoose its victory. Courage and arrogance are the two qualities that often help the mongoose win. This animal could be called reckless if it weren't very good at judging its own strength. What could this animal want with the lions? It looks like the pups might be nearby, and so the brave animal is trying to get the dangerous predators to move away from them. The mongoose starts a psychological attack, making sharp, unpleasant sounds. The lions are dumbfounded, but they don't dare put the impune animal in its place because they know it can bite them right on the muzzle. None of the lions want to deal with the mongoose, and some of them even choose to flee, and this incident happened in our time. The people's home was invaded by a large cobra, which sought refuge behind the furniture. The mere thought of such a monstrous creature lurking in one's own abode sends shivers down my spine. It's akin to coming face to face with death itself. The situation would be even more dire if a child happened upon the snake. However, luck was on their side, as a mongoose was the one to stumble upon the cobra. To everyone's surprise, the yellow mongoose had already paid a visit the previous day, scouring the area under the rocks in search of the elusive cobra. Now it had finally located its target and began employing its well-established combat tactics to lure the foe out of hiding. Although the foe may have appeared eerie to some, the mongoose seemed unfazed. Its initial strategy involved driving the cobra out of the house to gain a positional advantage in the ensuing fight. Despite the snake's attempts to escape, the mongoose tenaciously pursued it, delivering attacks as it went. With the mongoose on guard, it appears that this house is now well protected.